We can know that good examples exist in both categories of public and private ownership.
Have you ever wondered who owns the forest? This is the topic we will discuss with Ivana Živojinovic from the EFI Forest Policy Research Network. So, first question, to whom do European forests belong?
Forest ownership is commonly categorized either as public or private. Under public ownership, most commonly we understand the forests which are in the state or municipal ownership, and private are those that are owned by individuals or companies. 53.5% of European forests are in public ownership, while 46.5% are in private ownership.
And has the situation of forest ownership in Europe always been similar, or how has it changed over time?
Private ownership have increased in the last 2.5 decades for 22%, while public have decreased for 2%. This increase of private ownership have happened due to different forest ownership changes and trends, and this was afforestation, privatization, or restitution of forest land.
What if we compare different European countries? Anything to highlight?
In Northern Europe, around 70% of forests are in private ownership, while in the South Europe, 90% of forests are in public. Also in the Western Europe, private ownership dominates when you compare to the Eastern European countries.
How could I become a forest owner?
There are different ways in which a private individual can own the forest. One of the basic ways is through inheritance, and nowadays we observe the trend when small farms are given up, that this agricultural land is usually sold to other farmers, but forests are often kept in the family. And in some cases, these forests become owned by actually non-agricultural owners with some urban lifestyles, which sometimes can have influence on forest management later on.
And if I were an owner, who would set limits on my forest management?
We can observe some general pattern, and this is greater freedom of owners in forest management in Western European countries, contrary to the more legal restrictions in Eastern European countries. In general, state forests are normally managed according to the political goals, societal and business objectives, and there is wide variation of private forests management types, especially when it comes to small-scale forest owners.
Okay, now, what is the relation between sustainable forest management and ownership?
From forest ownership perspective, we can say that in general, diversity of forest owners is often seen as hindrance for reaching forest policy goals, but from the other side, this represents richness, because the mosaic of these different forest owners types and different management approaches that they apply actually represent diversity at the landscape scale, and this can increase resilience of forests and can help that forest ecosystems are managed in the different ways. So we can say that different forest types managed for different purposes in theory are expected to contribute more to sustainability in all its aspects, so economic, environmental and social.
Do you want to know more about the state and importance of European forests? Forest Europe has gathered the voice of a wide network of experts on the issue. Follow this series on Facebook, Twitter and LinkedIn.